Great morning, great morning. It's Amanda Sapp here on Amazing 102.5 FM, your Do Good Through Good station where we're changing lives one listener at a time. I'm always so excited to bring you amazing guests doing amazing things in amazing ways. Let me share with you who I have on the line with us today. This guest served in the United States Navy, received an honorable discharge BA Mass Communication, Journalism, and an MA in Media and Communication Relations. The Houston Police Department a police officer served for 16 years, currently assigned to the Office of Community Affairs. I have on the line with me Miss Senior Police Officer Treva Mott. Great morning.
Great morning. How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored, Miss Mott. If you could, for us, give us 3 words to describe you.
I am an honest person, independent, strong-willed. I know that was 4 words.
Ms. Mott, thank you so much for being my guest here today on the Amanda Sapp Morning Show. We're excited to have you, and for good reason. You're talking about an upcoming event that's happening this weekend. But before we even get into that, could you share a little bit more about you?
Absolutely. I would have to say I'm the type of person as it relates to dealing with the community. As you had mentioned earlier, I served in the United States Navy, which shows that I love my country. I believe in my country. We are a strong country that believes in the people. Saying that, that's why going into college, I decided that I would go into the communications. I love communicating with people, love learning how the body language talks without people saying a word, the nonverbal communication, all of that good stuff. Love working with children, love working with people. So now let's move to the Houston Police Department, Office of Community Affairs. When I was out there on the street meeting patrol, I was seeing a different side of the world. And I was like, oh my goodness. But what I found is that our youth are the ones that we need to pay particular attention to the most. So that brings me to my next point. Now that I'm in the Office of Community Affairs, I have the opportunity to now look at the other side of policing, meaning really being able to dive into community-oriented policing. Community policing. Going into the community, talking to the people, asking what are their concerns, what are their issues, what can we do to assist them? And I'm like, oh my gosh, we really need to work with these youth people. Everybody that I talk to, business owners, churches, community leaders, you name it, everybody's topic is, or shall I say, the top of their list is the youth. We need to speak with the youth. We need to get them involved. What are they doing? So that brings me to this point. We're now at the fashion show. After COVID, a lot of things were going on, not just necessarily with jobs, but with the students being out of school, being at home, on their phones. So now, fast forward, school starts. So what are we doing? The kids are kind of like getting acclimated back to school, being in school. So me having the opportunity to go into the school, teach the students, it's like, miss, yeah, I see you, police officer. What are you guys doing, the police department? What are you all doing to close that social distance? What are you all doing to help us out? Great question. Love the question. So that gave me the opportunity to open up and let them know about the Houston Police Department's youth programs. YPAC, which stands for Youth Police Advisory Council, HPD Explorers. We have our GREAT unit, that's our gang unit, and they talk about resist kids being able to deter and make better choices and other than going to the games. We have so many youth programs that we're involved with. Win-win. We have My Brother's Keeper. We have so much stuff. GH PAL, Greater Houston Police Advisory League. So that gave me the opportunity to open up that door. But with those programs, what goes with those programs? Sometimes those programs are not funded. So this brings me to the Houston Police Fashion Show. I created the show with the thought of, you know what, we can't leave a child behind. I don't mean to sound cliche-ish. I'm not that cliche-ish. I'm not that type of a person. But I was like, what can we do that's fun, that shows the Houston police officers in a different light, something where we can invite the community to come out and have fun with us, and at the same time, raise money so that our youth programs can continually grow and we can get more and more involved with the youth and the communities that they live in.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mott, for sharing all of that information with us. In what ways have you seen community policing evolve during the 16 years with HPD, and where do you see it heading in the future?
I would have to say, at first, being in the schools, I'm going to take it back to going into a school at the beginning of a school semester. Being able to talk to the students, they're kind of, when they see you, you're in uniform, you're standing up there, you're teaching about the job of a police officer. You're talking about conflict resolution. We're talking about teen dating violence. We're talking about all sorts of topics every week. Now, the students are reserved. They're looking at you, hands crossed. Some of them just like, what is this person talking about? I ain't got no time for the po-po. Why you up in here thinking you can talk to me? I don't have nothing for you. You ain't, they heard it all. But then let's just say that when you get the right officers talking to the students, now you begin to get those students, you get their attention. And they begin to start asking questions. So at the beginning, you have to build trust with them. They don't just trust you. When I say they, the young students or students in general, just like the public, they don't trust you at first. You have to, as a police officer, you have to build that trust with them by talking to them, understanding them. But most importantly, you have to listen to them. So I listened to the kids, and that kind of built that relationship with them. So I would have to say at the beginning, you have to build that relationship. And once you build that relationship, you open up a door of communication. Then they begin to trust, they begin to speak, you as a police officer, me as a police officer, I'm able to learn from them. I don't go in saying, I'm the police, I know everything. No, I want them to know that I'm listening, I'm here for you, and what can we do as a police department, what can we do to help resolve some of the issues that you have? Again, first building that trusting relationship. And then you say, where do you see us in the future? I see us once we build those trusting relationships, now those young people are getting older. They may say, you know what? I remember when I was in the 8th grade or 9th grade, and I was talking to the police officer. They were in school. They really listened. They really talked. I think I want to be a police officer. So we can also use that as a recruiting tool, or they can just be an ambassador for us out there in the community.
What is the name of the fashion show, and who is invited to attend?
The name of the fashion show is the Houston Police Department's 3rd annual fashion show, youth fashion show fundraiser. And the entire community is invited to attend.
Where can they go to get tickets?
They can go to our website, the Houston Police Department.org, and then you can put in the search bar, you can put in, or you can scroll down, and you will see Houston HPD 3rd Annual Youth Fashion Show. And then it'll open up and you'll be able to purchase a ticket. The tickets are just $25. The location is at 2000 Edwards Street, Houston, Texas, 77007. The name of the facility that we're having, and we're so grateful, is Silver Street Studios. 2000 Edwards Street, Houston, Texas, 77007.
Ms. Mott, thanks so much for joining us today here on the Amanda Sapp Morning Show and being our guest. We do have to wrap this interview up, and we'd like to leave fans, followers, listeners, and supporters with something inspiring, something empowering, something they can take with them the rest of the day, the rest of the weekend, all the way up to the weekend. What would you like to leave us with today?
I would have to say, I heard someone say to me years ago, if someone treats you like you're nothing in their lives, become that nothing and leave. So what am I saying? Be your own person. Be independent. You don't need anyone to validate who you are. You're uniquely made and you're beautiful. And we accept you for who you are.
And how do we find you?
I can be found at Treva.Mott at HoustonPolice.org. If you have any questions, I'm in the Office of Communications, Office of Community Affairs with the Houston Police Department, 1200 Travis, Houston, Texas.
Ms. Mott, thanks so much for being my guest here today. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey guys, look, stay tapped in, stay tuned in, stay amazing. We'll be right back.